All right, John, so we've talked about the motion of the pelvis. Now let's talk about the 6 motions of the rib cage.
Just like the pelvis, the rib cage has 6 motions.
Okay.
We can turn, rotation. We can even put a line right through your rib cage to show us the actual degrees of rotation.
Showing it open and closed relation
Yep.
to the target.
So close to the
Negative.
target is left of target or backswing. And open, facing the target, downswing if you will. Rotation. We can show a different view from maybe the top view to see rotation, which is a really interesting view. I like that a lot, quite revealing.
A little different than seeing, just the regular
Right.
2D camera view.
And I'll tell you one really cool feature of this. Go ahead and let's do that one more time, but from a dress position. And let's kind of get that so we're looking a little bit above. Let's bring this up here a little bit more. There we go. That's a really interesting view. We can see some serious shoulder protection. We'll get to that later. Don't worry about that. Now we also have a side tilt.
So rib cage side tilt would be,
There it is. Left side high, left side low. Left side low is negative. Left side high is positive. Rib cage tilt. We also have forward backward tilt. And backward. Come way down. There you go. There's forward tilt negative, backward tilt positive. So those are the rotations of the rib cage. Then we have the translations.
let's isolate. You want to just isolate just the rib cage? So we'll take off the other body segments.
Very handy for golf students is just to isolate so they don't get confused. Even for professionals that are newer to the 3D world, there's a lot of data in there. Separating out to just, in this case, the rib cage can really help. So we have our sway, thrust, and lift. There's sway. Negative away from the target, positive toward the target. Now if you turn and face me, please. Thrust is negative away. Well, thrust is just come right forward, not downward. There's a little bit of thrust plus bend, right?
So thrust is this way.
Yeah. So it's hard, as you can see, Chase is having a hard time separating out thrust from forward bend, but they are related.
So then getting into a golf posture, thrust is just
Yeah,
Just
there you
moving
go.
this way.
There you go. That's thrust. And then we have lift, and we should be in our posture for lift. But we're going to see a little negative lift, kind of drop that self down and lift it back up again. And if you would show into a golf swing, turning back, and maybe there's a little bit of negative lift, and come up and there's a little bit of positive lift. And those are the 6 motions of the rib cage.
All right, John, let's talk about the motion of the head.
I've got 2 things for you that I think are very important. One, I have seen the orientation of the head change people's club path just like that.
Okay.
And if we could put a line right through your head like the Steve Martin arrow through the ears, that will help. And there we are. And this line that you'll see is relative to the target that was established at calibration. If I can get you to turn your head more this way, that line just went more out to the right of the target. You're gonna want to swing the golf club. Your club path is gonna want to follow that eye line. And let's say you were going to be too much inside out, I might center back up that head, and that club path would want to follow that eye line. I've seen it many, many times.
So then somebody too far left.
Yeah, that's right. And that you should see that with putting. It's the same exact kind of thing.
Sure.
So getting that eye line straight or actually manipulating it for the club delivery is a wonderful thing.
Right.
Now our second would be facing the camera. And this is another one of those injury type of things that concerns me greatly. I see this a ton of the time, where a golfer goes back on the way down, perhaps the head starts to rotate way away from the target, and it stays back way too long, and the neck flexes sideways, and that's a injury coming.
So
quick.
you'll see the head rotation staying too far. It's closed too long.
Yeah, it actually even closes
So
further.
it's closing. And Rory
Yeah.
has a little bit of that at times, right? He kind of shuts it down.
Yeah, not healthy. Not healthy at all.
Would you ever see that with certain eye tendencies, like eye dominance tendencies?
I don't know.
Don't think?
I used to test eye dominance for aiming and alignment stuff, and it just didn't hold up.
Sure. So more of a technique issue, more than likely.
Yeah, a technique or maybe a faulty concept. Keep your head down from the time you were this big.
Sure. So more let it release
Well,
naturally.
we call that the head release, right? Right. I'd rather see that. I think it's a lot safer way to play golf.
So motion of the head, as you can see, we can measure it with the MySwing system.